doesn't sound like you all can hear the video. What a lovely way to start this stream off with foolishness, because I honestly wasn't really feeling it. So already this foolishness is not it. Did you all hear the video? Because if I begin to tell you what I went through to even be able to go live today, y'all, this has been crazy. So I'm going to try playing it again, and you guys let me know if you can actually hear it.
PINA. You might know him on Instagram as Flippin' NJ.
Tonight, an I-Team exclusive investigation involving a real estate deal and one of the most recognizable voices in radio. Investors in a real estate venture say they were swindled out of millions of dollars. And they argue syndicated radio rapper Rashawn Casey, better known as DJ Envy from the show The Breakfast Club, promoted these deals. Investigative reporter Sarah Wallace talked to the alleged victims and has the response to those mounting accusations you're about to hear for the first time.
We've helped so many people, not just regular people, but celebrities, athletes, executives.
That's DJ Envy on his syndicated iHeartradio show, The Breakfast Club. He's often promoted the real estate venture of his pal, CESAR PINA.
You might know him on Instagram as Flippin' NJ.
But it's more than just a passing endorsement.
You can partner with us on some deals, make some money with us.
Envy and CESAR have teamed up for seminars, including one at the Jacob Javits Convention Center, pitching opportunities to flip properties, often in distressed areas of New Jersey.
We invested $200,000 and looks like we're never going to get it back.
Jose Santiago and his wife, Jessica Ortiz, say they believed investing in this neighborhood of Patterson would be their ticket to the American dream.
That's the reason why I got into real estate, so we can actually start flipping properties, buying properties, so we can have something for our kids in the future.
The couple says they connected with entrepreneur CESAR after seeing him on social media with DJ Envy.
He's advertising this all over the radio and on television. I've seen shows of him all over the place, so I thought this was legit.
The pitch to invest in rundown properties that would be renovated and flipped for more money. The promise to return up to 30%. In some cases, CESAR didn't even own the properties. This couple took out $200,000 in equity from their Florida home, promised that 30% return within 4 months. Then they say nothing.
I'm paying the interest right now every month, and I have nothing.
Well, at this point, we just want our money back.
Nigel Chamblin says he was conned by CESAR into investing $235,000 in that same Patterson property, along with two others, $300,000 each for homes in Hawthorne and in Maplewood.
$835,000 in total on all three houses. There were other people investing in the exact same properties. It was a scam. It was a lie.
Augie Rios owns a custom auto wrap shop in Lodi, who says he worked on Envy's cars for years and believed his pitch. He did get back a return on an initial investment with CESAR, but maintains a second investment on this Patterson property went south.
If it wasn't for DJ Envy, I would have never invested into CESAR. I lost a total of $64,000.
After receiving 2 bounced checks, Rio says he got a visit from CESAR carrying this box of jewelry.
He said, take this jewelry until I can pay you back.
How much did he say this was worth?
15, 20 grand.
Then there's record producer Anthony Martini, who invested in what he thought was a promising apartment project in Patterson.
I lost $1 million.
And you went in because of DJ Envy.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I'd known Envy for years.
Martini's attorney has filed a lawsuit.
It's some sort of Ponzi-like scheme where he's taking money from one investor to pay off other investors. You're looking at over $40 million invested with the Pinas in their companies.
Breaking news here on Tony the Closer's Live.
The complaint floodgates opened up when alleged victims started appearing on the social media platform of influencer Tony the Closer, a self-proclaimed real estate scam watchdog.
I decided to make it where everybody would know the disgusting behavior that they're practicing.
Dozens of lawsuits have now been filed against CESAR and his wife. Several also name Envy, who has sued Tony the Closer for defamation after also going on with him live.
And there's nobody in here that could ever say Envy, they gave Envy $1.
Envy, whose real name is Rashawn Casey, declined to talk to the I-Team, referring us to a powerful Manhattan real estate attorney. He says the radio personality lost $500,000 to the Pinas in an investment deal to transform this vacant school building in Patterson into rental units.
He is a victim, just like the other alleged victims are in connection with the scam.
Why, if he's a victim, hasn't he filed a lawsuit against the Pinas?
He has a legal right to file whenever he deems fit. He is now contending with cases that are being filed every day improperly against him.
Why not come out on his radio show and warn other alleged victims if he feels that he was?
It's an ongoing, they're ongoing litigations. And there is no room for them on, any sort of radio show.
A lot of people say they bought in because of Envy's reputation. Does he not have some responsibility?
Absolutely not. The only reason why Envy is sued is to sensationalize the case.
The attorney is seeking dismissals of all the lawsuits. As for the Pinas, we caught up with Caesar's wife, Jennifer, in Bergen County. Do you have anything to say to the alleged victims?
I say, just hold tight and we're going to come through.
Where's the money?
Listen, that's a Caesar answer for you. I can't give you that answer. He wants to be here with you. He wants to do the sit down. He wants to have this interview. He wants to clear the air. He wants to explain his side and he wants people to understand what's going on. But, he's been advised to not talk.
There may be some hope for investors. A judge has appointed a bankruptcy court trustee to oversee some of the Pinas properties. Any available assets could eventually be sold off to pay alleged victims. From Patterson, Sarah Wallace, News 4 New York.
All right, so we are live. Welcome to another installment of Empowered Esquire TV. Y'all, can we just have a transparent moment? The weekend got away from me, y'all, but it's a good thing because more things have happened since Sunday that we now get to discuss that we would not have been able to discuss if I had went live on Sunday. The weekend got away from me, y'all. And truth be told, today about darn near got away from me. Finding the time to go live nowadays is really, it's increasingly difficult. My life is getting busier and busier. And I know I say this all the time, but I'm constantly questioning if I should even still be doing this because I just don't know if I have the time. And I sometimes feel like I'm sliding you guys with the inconsistency, and you guys is horrible language. Oh, come on, Felicia. Like I'm sliding my EETV family with the inconsistency, so don't worry. I'm good. It's not, not horrible things, not bad things. But I'm just far too busy and I'm one person. So I don't know. We'll keep thinking about that. So let's get into this DJ Envy, Caesar Pineapple. We're calling him Caesar Pineapple because we can't resist, right? And we got to come up with a name for DJ Envy, but let's get into it. So before we even dive into the documents and really start talking about what's going on with the arrest and the prosecution and all of that, let's have a conversation about defense work and defense attorneys. Okay. So we're going to hear and see some things. And as we hear and we see some things, I want you to keep in mind what DJ Envy's attorney sat there and said, like with his mouth, like through his mouth hole, the things that he said, right? He is claiming that DJ Envy is totally just a victim in all of this, that he was not at all involved. And I sometimes wonder how attorneys, not all, of course, but how some attorneys, in particular defense attorneys, are able to say the things they say in good conscience and keep their license, right? Because sometimes they say things that are bold-facedly untrue. Now, in this instance, allegedly, DJ Envy is a victim. Okay, but we'll dive into that. I will add this though. Attorneys are allowed to a certain extent to rely on the representations and information given to them by their client. So, to a certain extent, attorneys may say things that come off as disingenuous. However, technically, if they got that information from their client, they are technically covered. Morally, ethically, we're having a different conversation, aren't we? So now listen, I have queued up for you an amazing commentary breakdown. At this point, honestly, I think he's almost an investigative journalist. But we're going to watch a very small snippet of what happened to Common Sense. I'm going to link his original video. Of course, this is all for the purpose of teaching, right? But we're going to watch a little snippet. As I said, at this point, he's a borderline investigative journalist to me. I mean, because this work was 10 out of 10, right? So we are going to watch a snippet of his breakdown because some of that is going to become increasingly important before we go to the prosecution paperwork. Okay, so let's get to that next. As you know, I always announce that I'm sharing my screen, so why should we change that now? Hold on. Y'all, I'm working with new tech, so please forgive me. This is the reason that you see me being a bit of a hot mess here, because I'm working with new tech, and you guys already know, okay? I'm not even going to lie and pretend like, you know, I'm one of those super techie people. I'm not, and it ain't no shame in my game, honey. All right, let's see. Oh, you know what? Let me say hello to some folks first. Where are my manners? Hi, Michelle Jordan. How are you? Hi, Wellness with Frugal Mama. How are you? Hi, Business Talk with Kay. Hello, Mara Charisse. How are you, darling? Hello, Jason Reels. Thank you very much. I'm trying to remain around for y'all. We built a beautiful family. I love y'all, but my life is getting so doggone busy. And I'm like, when? And then by the time the weekend rolls around, I blink and the weekend is over. But I'm trying. Sonetta, where is Nikki? Who's Nikki? Well, thank you for loving my channel, but now we got to find out who Nikki is. Hello, Queen Brielle. And what's up to Zion Lex TV? Thank you for the gratitude. I appreciate that. All right, so let's share my screen now and dive into this little snippet. Before we're going to look at the indictment, y'all. So before we get there, let's cue up a little bit of evidence first. All right, so you should be able to see. Yeah? Okay. All right. Here we go. We're watching a little snippet of this.
Doing this. This is not just about slandering and gossip. Because I know you slow people in the back think it's all about gossip and slander. Yet DJ Envy's entire platform is based around gossiping and slandering celebrities all day long. But the tool called the Wayback Machine basically archives all of the web pages on the internet. See, understand? I keep trying to tell you, you fuck with the right one when you fuck with me. When you threaten me, oh, you don't understand how hard I'm going to go now. I'm a technologist by trade and by skill. So now you may update your website today, but what the Wayback Machine allows you to be able to do is I can pull up how your website looked last week, last month, last year, 5 years ago. The Wayback Machine goes all the way back to 1996. See, your criminals fuck with the right one. So now, if we come here to the team page, the way the website looks today, you only see Caesar and his wife. But if you come here, according to the Wayback Machine, back here on February 7th of 2023, look who we see here, the team on Instagram. You see DJ Envy. You see DJ Envy. You see DJ Envy. You see DJ Envy. You see DJ Envy and Caesar. See the tall guy tycoon. Want to know what you had to do with the project, brother? When I ask you that later. See DJ Envy again. 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 You get my point. So now the question would be, why would you delete the pictures? Now remember, in the suit, he stated he has nothing to do with the Flip the Dow project. He was never an employee and he was never a representative. Okay? I know what you're saying. Oh, Eli, you're just trolling. You know, we need something more hardcore. We need something, more damning. Okay. Well, if you come down here, zoom in. It says Rashawn Casey, which is DJ Envy's real name, is the co-founder and CSO. Now, remember, if you go to the site currently today, you don't see that. But with the Wayback Machine, you can see when they were out here marketing and promoting this, it says the co-founder and CSO, right? DJ Envy, real estate investor, entrepreneur, Power 105. Now I know what you're saying. Drum roll. Eli, how we know that you didn't make this website yourself, right? You're a programmer, you're a technologist by default, okay? Well, boom. If we come here, right, you need something a little bit more hardcore. Wow. Is that not Rashawn Casey right there? Does it not say co-founder and C?
That is literally all we need. That is all we need. But you have the link to the original video. Shout out to What Happened to Common Sense, for allowing us to take one little piece of the puzzle to use in the moving forward with the teaching and the reviewing of the prosecution, the indictment, and also a lawsuit that we're going to take a look at as well, if we have time, right? So now as we move forward, keep in mind that according to the previous versions of this Flip the Dow website, right, via What Happened to Common Sense in his investigation, DJ Envy used to be listed as the chief strategy officer. I'm making sure I got that right. Yes, the CSO, right, for this whole Flip to Dow company. Okay, so what is being said online, at least for the people that are supporting Envy, is that he was not involved. That does not sound aligned with him having an executive position in the company. So if you're not involved, this position really tends to contradict that, right? So now, of course, moving forward, the question becomes, here's the question moving forward. Can Envy allege that although he was a CSO, because he would have to eventually cop to that, right? If we take everything at its word, could he still avoid any level of culpability here? Could he say, I was CSO, but I still did not know? Well, we're going to get into that. All right. So let me stop that screen only because we have another screen we're going to need to share now, which is the actual indictment. What's up, Edina Cole? Thank you for stopping by. What's up to Let Me See Your Transcript? How are you? How are you? Thanks for joining us. And what's up to I Am Queen Newton? And shout out to the whole OCOV fam. All right, y'all. So you already know what I teach you over and over again on this channel, but I'm going to continue because I know we're always getting new people subscribing to the EETV fam. So you don't need to go to, the shade room, right? You don't need to go to some blog. When the Department of Justice makes a big bust, it's a celebrity or an influencer or somebody of that nature, they will tell you themselves. Okay, so here we go. Let's check out what the Department of Justice had to say about this entire situation, shall we? Uh-oh. Wait. You guys, after I did that whole beautiful intro, I lost my link. Remember, I said I'm working with new tech. So I'm having to flip from one app to the next. Here we go. It's loading very slowly. Okay, here we go. The here we go is not warranted. Whenever this technology decides to work, I will be really happy about it. Okay. Alrighty, so here we go. You should be able to see it now. Let me see. Let me make sure. Yes. Okay. Yes. Wonderful. All right, so here we go. So we are here at the United States Attorney's Office for the District of New Jersey. Okay, so as I always said, whenever you have any level of the Justice Department making a quote unquote big bust, they will tell you themselves. You don't need to get the information from anyone else. New Jersey real estate investor and online influencer charged with multi-million-dollar investment fraud scheme. Okay, here we go. For immediate release from the U.S. Attorney's Office, District of New Jersey, a New Jersey real estate investor and influencer was arrested today for committing a multi-million-dollar Ponzi-like investment fraud scheme. Pause. You don't have to say anything other than that, right? This is released by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of New Jersey. So this is not Empowered Esquire saying that CESAR Pineapple, I like CESAR Pineapple, we're going to roll with that, is accused of this or that, right? This is the government saying what he is being charged with. So this is not gossip. As you all know, again, if you're new here, we don't do gossip, gobbledygook, foolishness, and immaturity over here. We teach and we deal in facts. All right, moving forward. Okay, CESAR Humberto PINA, but we're going with CESAR Pineapple, 45 of Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, y'all. If you're not familiar with New Jersey, allow me to enlighten you a bit. Franklin Lakes is frou-frou. Okay, Franklin Lakes is the place that people like to say, I live in Franklin Lakes, right? It's one of those places. And you'll see we'll say trend here of CESAR Pineapple, DJ Envy, and others apparently, seemingly, allegedly living very extravagant lives that may not necessarily match up with the things they say they do for a living. Okay. Marsha, oh, he got money. Yeah, honey, he got money, honey. He got Franklin Lakes money, apparently. Okay, let's move on. Is charged by complaint with one count of wire fraud. He appeared before the U.S. Magistrate Judge Edward S. Keel in Newark Federal Court and was released on $1 million secured bond with electronic monitoring. Okay. As alleged in the complaint, Pineapple exploited celebrity status and social media to develop a devoted following of potential victims, promising returns that were too good to be true. Now, this is another thing that what happened to Common Sense said that I 100% agree with. We have to be mindful with these too good to be true promises, because that should be a red flag for you that it's not legitimate. You know, some of the return percentages that were promised are absurd. I mean, it's not possible in the real world. Okay, moving forward. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. If you guys hear the noise I just heard, I hope you guys didn't hear it. Okay, so we have U.S. Postal Inspector in charge giving his thoughts on the case, but we're going to move past that. Okay. Here we go. Oh, my goodness. This is so good. This is why I love to read the press release from the government and not like the other foolishness. Oh, my goodness. So remember, DJ Envy is saying that he is not involved. He's not involved. He's a victim. Well, it looks like the government doesn't think he's a victim. How do we know that? PINA partnered with a celebrity disc jockey and radio personality to conduct real estate seminars around the country. Through these seminars, self-promotional efforts, and other marketing strategies, PINA developed a significant social media following. So at the very least, the government is already viewing DJ Envy as someone that PINA has previously partnered with. Now, does that mean that we're going to see that trend continue, as in them thinking that DJ Envy is a part of the actual theft or fraudulent behavior? We're not too sure on that yet, right? But what we know from let me not say what we know. Let me be fair. What we allegedly have seen and heard is that the seminars were a funnel by which Pineapple brought in investors. So you're not connecting a bunch of dots to say, if the government is calling DJ Envy Pineapple's partner in the seminars, they could hypothetically be linking him to other things already. But we're going to continue to read on. Okay. So they allege that this began in 2017. Wow. Okay. To induce his victims, Pina often promised 20 to 45% returns within 5 months. Y'all, come on. I mean, really? Does that not sound okay? To me, mind you, I'm not pocket watching with JT. Shout out to JT, right? However, 20 to 45% return within 5 months. Okay. That sounds to me totally unrealistic. Okay. But instead of using victims' investments as promised, Pina engaged in a Ponzi-like scheme by commingling victim money, using new victim investments to pay off prior victims, and spending victim funds on personal expenditures. Wow. The investigation has revealed that Pina defrauded dozens of investors of millions of dollars. Interesting. Okay, so let's see what amalgamation of the alphabet is working on this prosecution. So U.S. Attorney Selinger credited special agents of the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of New Jersey under the direction of Special Agent in Charge Thomas Mahoney, special agents and task force officers of the... Wait a minute, y'all. Hold on. Oh, this is getting even curiouser. This is getting juicier and juicier. I wasn't even expecting, y'all. This is my raw reaction. I did not read this yet. I know you see what I see. I wasn't even expecting this. Special agents and task force officers of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration? Okay. Now, we've had this conversation before where I tell you that when you see different agencies working together, that is because all of those agencies have a component within that case. So what we're looking at here is U.S. Attorney's Office in New Jersey, the DEA, and the U.S. Postal Inspection Service. Now, we would expect the U.S. Postal Inspection Service, and we would also expect the IRS because we've heard wire fraud. But what is this here? What is the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration? What's that part? Curiouser and curiouser this gets. Huh. Okay. The government is being represented by AUSA Mark J. Pesch and Carolyn Selene. Okay, and of course, Pineapple is presumed innocent unless and until he is proven guilty. Let's click this. Let's see. Can you see that? Yes, you can. All right, let's get into the complaint. So again, if you're an OG, you already know this, but indulge me, right? Because the newbies need it. This is the case caption, everyone. Okay. When you look at the case caption and you see a governmental entity here, right? United States District Court, District of New Jersey, that lets you know where the case is originating from. Okay. So this is a federal, because it's United States District Court, right? And it's the District of New Jersey. Okay. When you see the United States of America as the quote unquote plaintiff, right? And then you see the or versus whatever you want to use, and you see the name of the individual or names of individuals, that is how you know that it is a criminal case, right? Because it is the government versus the individual or individuals. The government brings the case on behalf of the quote unquote people of their district. Okay. Criminal complaints. All righty. So we have the special agent that is swearing to some of the information herein. Okay. And let's move forward from there. All right. So count 1 is wire fraud. We see them referring to him as his little internet name, which is Flippin' NJ. Okay. So here's what he's officially accused of. He is accused of knowingly and intentionally devising and intending to devise a scheme and artifice to defraud and to obtain money and property by means of materially false and fraudulent pretenses, representations, and promises, and for the purpose of executing and attempting to execute such scheme and artifice to defraud. He then is accused of knowingly transmitting and causing to be transmitted by means of wire communications in interstate and foreign commerce certain writings, signs, signals, pictures, and sounds, to wit, a wire transformation sent on or about September 13th, 2022. Now, I want you to bear in mind that this count comes from September of 2022, right? An alleged incident that took place then. And this document was signed on October 16th, 2023, and that was the same time this was actually filed, right? The reason why I bring that to your attention is look at the length of a federal case and look at the length of a federal investigation, right? This is typical. You're talking about at least a year ago that they began to build evidence. And from what we see up here, they've been investigating since 2017. Okay, so now let's talk about what this meant, this section here, because really this was a lot of legalese. And for someone who is non-legal, this sounds like blah, 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 right? So here's what this means. Caesar Pineapple is being accused of knowing that he was intending to defraud, right? So for you to know that you are defrauding means that he has to know. He has to be aware that the properties were either allegedly not purchased or either allegedly there was no plan to purchase them. So understand that as we'll continue to read, we're going to hear more, right? But understand that the accusation here includes culpability. He has to know that he was defrauding them. He has to know that he was making false statements, i.e. lying. He has to know that he was doing that, and he has to have intended to do it for the purpose of obtaining investments from these victims. So this cannot be that he thought this or he thought that. He has to know and intend to have taken their money under false pretenses. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so we have the statement of the special agent, okay? And the special agent is really just offering I can't talk, you guys, long day, authentication to the information that we're about to read. Okay. All right, here we go. So remember, we said that they're allegedly referring to DJ Envy. And we have to say allegedly because they say individual one here. Cool, we'll do that, right? But remember, we said they're allegedly referring to Envy as a partner in the seminars. So let's see what they're saying here. PINA and his business partner, a well-known disc jockey and radio personality, Individual One, operated a company that conducted real estate seminars around the country. Together, they used Individual One's celebrity to promote various real estate enterprises that PINA controlled. Together, they used Individual One's celebrity to promote various real estate enterprises that PINA controlled. It doesn't sound like the government is alleging that DJ Envy was a victim. It sounds like the government is alleging that Individual One, whoever that is, was a partner in luring in investors. All right. During real estate seminars, private one-on-one sessions, advertisements, public appearances, and otherwise, PINA represented that he was a highly successful real estate investor, owned thousands of properties in multiple states, and had business relationships with numerous celebrities. Through these efforts, PINA developed a significant following that included hundreds of thousands of social media followers. Can we just have a moment? I want to ask y'all something. Why do you worship celebrities so much? I mean, like, when are we going to stop giving our money to someone solely because they allegedly know celebrities? I can't wrap my mind around it. I cannot wrap my mind around me trusting someone with my money in large part because they allegedly know celebrities. And of course, this is not at all to victim shame, by the way, right? This is to have an intelligent conversation. Can we not worship at the altar of celebrities so shamelessly? Just a thought. All right, so let's continue. PINA owned and or controlled numerous business entities which held real property, and or were used to open bank accounts that PINA used in furtherance of the charged offense. Interesting. Okay, so we have 2 LLCs here that they allege that, were involved in this crime. Starting, or at least in and around 2017, PINA began accepting investments from individual investors, the victims. Here we go. For the alleged purchase, remodel, and sale. Okay. PINA generally entered into contracts with the victims. Okay. But rather than using the victims' investments as promised, PINA engaged in a Ponzi-like scheme wherein he commingled victim investors' money and used new victims' investments to pay off prior investors and cover personal expenditures. Okay, you guys. So what does that mean? Let's cut through the muck. Here's what the government is alleging. The government is alleging that PINA through these or held these seminars, okay, that individual one assisted him with bringing people into these seminars, right? He used that as a segue by which he would brag about knowing celebrities and brag about working with celebrities and blah, 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 right? And let's be real. We saw what happened to Common Sense showed us. He probably also flashed cars and jewelry and all these other things that people worship at the altar of as well, right? When we know that truly wealthy people don't even dress that way or wear those things. But anyway, the seminar was the segue. He then used celebrity and flexing to bring in people. He would then promise these people returns that, well, we saw some of the returns they were promised. He would then enter into contracts with them. He would take their money, but instead of purchasing real estate, he would just use it for his own personal expenses and use it to pay off other investors when they came knocking. Right? That is in plain English, the allegation. Mara Cherie says, because money and fame are so coveted. I'm telling you. Hello, Negus Roselle. How are you? All right. Did he say he sold houses to those celebrities? Let me see your transcript. We don't know exactly what yet. They may get into it because, as I told you all, I haven't read this yet either. This is all my raw reaction. Oh, okay. So it looks like they're going to break this down property by property. Interesting. Okay. And this is a 6-page indictment. So y'all, let's have a quick combo. As far as indictments go, we've seen much longer. Right? Do any of you remember the R. Kelly indictment? Oh, my goodness. Robert Kelly's indictment was like, I think that indictment was like almost 50 pages long. One of them. And there's another one that I know is over 100 pages long. Okay. So I say that. So I say that to say, y'all, as far as indictments go, to be real with you, this one ain't very long. This is not, I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. Manchester Ave property. So on or about April 4th, 2019, Pineapple used warehouse to purchase a property in Patterson. Okay. For about $140,000. Property 1. Interesting. He then allegedly solicited and received investments from dozens of different victims for the purported purchase, renovation, and sale of property 1. Interesting. PINA typically concealed from the victims, among other things, that he had already solicited and received money from other victims. So it gets deeper, you guys. So it's even deeper than what was initially alleged. It's even deeper. He may sometimes purchase a property, is what they're alleging, and then solicit donations from tons of different quote unquote victims to purchase a property that he's already purchased. Wow. Okay. This is, as I said, it gets curiouser. Oh my goodness. As a result, Pina collected more than approximately $5 million from victims as a supposed investment in Property One. Could you imagine that? He purchased this property for $140,000 and made $5 million in investments. That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Again, I want to call to your attention, maybe I'll pull up some pictures. Oh no, let's stick with the indictment. After the indictment, we'll pull up some pictures. But I want to still call to your attention and keep in your mind the lifestyle that CESAR Pineapple and DJ Envy live. Their lifestyle is 100% flexing. Are we gonna find out that they were flexing with money they stole from other people? All of this ridiculous jewelry. You see DJ Envy, he's wearing like 15 ridiculously classless looking foolishness around his neck. You see his wife like dressed in head to toe monogram. Again, just no words. And these pictures that are posted online, that is just flexing, flexing, flexing. So now, are we going to discover that he has been flexing with stolen funds? Again, the idea that people who have obtained their wealth fairly, scrupulously, would wear it that way is a concept that is usually not true, right? For the most part, people who obtain their wealth through grit do not behave that way. So a lot of times when we see these celebrities online, these rappers online, these whoever online, I wonder if we forget that, again, people who garner their money scrupulously do not behave that way. I wonder if we forget that, because you guys know I try not to go too far, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Sonetter, where is Nikki? The only question we have for you is, who is Nikki? That Sonetter, where is Nikki? We need you to tell us who is Nikki. That's our question. All right, let's move on. As a part of his fraud, Pina entered into contracts with each of the victims, and each contract contained similar material misrepresentations. All right, looks like we have a footnote here. Oh, okay, that doesn't matter. For example, one of the victims, victim one, signed a contract with Pina in which victim one's company agreed to make a capital contribution of about $200,000 to enter a joint venture for the purchase, remodel, and sale of Property One. The contract, so again, side note, allegedly Pina already bought the property for $140,000. And he's entering into contracts with people telling them they're investing to buy the property for $200,000. Okay, to purchase, remodel, and sell Property One. The contract further stated that Pina would return victim one's capital contribution within 5 months, plus an interest payment within 5. Y'all, come on. Return on investment within 5 months with an interest payment of $60,000? Come on. Again, I'm not JT. And I believe What Happened to Common Sense also does finance and money management as well. So I'm not him either. But my common sense tells me that does not sound above board. Okay. Pina fraudulently failed to disclose to victim one and other similar victims that Pina already owned Property One. Yep. Okay. All right. My goodness. All right. So in or around June and July of 2023, Warehouse, which is Pina's company, sold Property One to the same property they bought for $140,000. They then sold for $550,000. But still, they did not give any money to the victims. So the allegation, as I said, is multi-layered. Wow, what a tangled web. What a tangled web we weave. It layers from just flat out misrepresentation and fraud into more intricacies, such as showing certain properties that were already purchased and pretending they hadn't been purchased yet, into actually renovating and selling some of those properties, but still not giving victims returns on their investment. Wow. High Priestess, tell us about it. $5 million for that $140,000 house? Come on. What's up, Big Hamza? Big Hamza says, DJ Envy learned this scam from Brother Polite. You know, I have to say, I think allegedly, Brother Polite did some real estate. He was alleged of some real estate situation, but again, he was never charged with that, which is interesting. Hello to Terry the Notary Public. How are you? And then Goose said, how, Sway? I mean, tell me about it. Like, how, Sway? How? This is so crazy. And the thing about it is, I've heard quite a few people saying that, you know, perhaps Pineapple did not intend on this. Perhaps this, perhaps that. I've already told you the government is charging him with something that ain't no perhaps. He has to know and he has to have intended to. And from what we are hearing in these allegations in this charging document, he did know and he did intend to. This is no, oh, I fell and stumbled into being the head of a Ponzi scheme. Like, no. Allegedly, this is a person who purposefully ran a scheme by the allegation issued by the government, not by me saying that and not by anybody else online saying it. Okay, let's move forward. Next property is the Park Ave property. Okay, so this one was in 2018. And the same company, Warehouse, was used to purchase this property for $225. Okay. And then from January of 2021 on up into and around March of 2023, Pineapple was getting investments for the purchase of a property that his company already purchased allegedly in 2018. So from the minute that Pineapple is telling these investors that they're going to purchase this property, boom, knowledge and intent to defraud. Already. Because he's allegedly telling them they're going to purchase a property. He know that AAVE coming for y'all. He's allegedly telling them he's going to purchase a property that he knows his company has already purchased. Knowingly, right? And intentionally. Okay. Mara Sharice, other people's money, right? Yep. Correct. What's up, T-Bam? How are you? Oh, Terry is talking about the cardamom. The cardamom. I had a cardamom bun the other day. It was really good. But yes. So Terry is talking about the Cargominium scam that Brother Polite was allegedly involved in. So here's the allegation, you guys. Again, this was never a case. I think it almost was, though. So the allegation is that a company built affordable housing from cargo, what are they called? Cargo containers, if you will, the big containers, right? And they were building affordable housing with these containers. Allegedly, Brother Polite gained access to the work site. It's unclear how he did. And then he alleged that it was his project. Now, the person and the company behind the project already came out and debunked that. Okay. It's a whole thing online. Check it out if you want. Oh, here's the deets, you guys. So Sonetter Where's Nikki says, my username is just a protest against Sonetter. I'm suing him and his wife. I'm not going to bring my drama over here. I'm just here to learn. Listen, That's perfectly fine. We appreciate that because, we do not get involved in, but I appreciate the explanation and I'm glad that you are here to learn because that's what we like to do is edify each other. All right. Oh boy, let's see. Do we have a total of how much money okay. So from victim one, he allegedly garnered a contribution of $100,000. Interesting. Okay. And again, he made this same promise of return of capital contribution within 5 months with $35,000 interest. Then we see victim one provided an additional 100,000. So it looks like a total of 200,000 for victim one. Okay, so now the South Boyden property. Okay, so in 2020, the other LLC, the From Start to Flipping, purchased a property for, it looks like $409,500. You guys know that I can't talk when it's after 7 p.m. After 7 p.m., I'm like, I can't say numbers. I can't do this. But anyway, so it looks like his company, From Start to Flipping, purchased this property in South Boyden. And then from November of 2020 through April 2023, he then solicited and received investments from more than 24 victims. Wow. This is very, very interesting. Using the same modus operandi discussed above, PINA collected more than approximately $5 million from these victims as supposed investment capital for property 3. So for a property that he spent almost $410,000 on, right? $409,000 and a bit, right? $409,000 and a half. He then allegedly collected more than approximately $5 million. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Now, if you're new to this channel, you may not know this, but if you are an OG, you already know that we often talk about modus operandi. And why modus operandi is important. Well, remember that usually in a prosecution, the court cannot use your past behavior against you unless they establish a pattern, a modus operandi. That's the door through which they can bring in a bunch of bad behavior from your past that you may not have even been convicted of. Catch it. Listen. They're invoking the modus operandi language, which means we could see this prosecution bring in things that Pineapple allegedly did that he's not even being charged with and use it against him. Okay. Again, if those prior bad acts fall into the same pattern as the actions that they've alleged here within. Okay. Okay, then they go into another victim and another alleged contribution from that victim. Now we go to the Franklin Ave property. So purchased in 2017 for $260,000. Okay. Interesting. So this property was purchased in 2017. And then from July 2020 through to May 2023, again, using the same modus operandi, they allege, he solicited and received over approximately $4 million for a property that he only purchased for, wow. So they are alleging a pattern of buying properties that are in the lower range, right, for a property on the East Coast, and then soliciting donations that were into the millions for each property. I mean, imagine how many millions of dollars they are alleging CESAR PINA was able to defraud people out of, was able to solicit and obtain. And then the question becomes, well, what happened to the money? Is the money still sitting in accounts that are held by PINA, which of course we know that those accounts, if they have not already, will be seized? Or was that money used for other quote unquote things? This is really, really absurd. Okay. And here they have an example. Victim 2 gave about $250,000 towards this property that again was purchased for about $260,000, but somehow resulted in $4 million in investments. Okay. So that is the end of the indictment. That is so much money. No lie. No lie, High Priestess. That is a lot of money per property. Wow. Hey, Mixtress. Okay, so let me show you some pictures. Hey, PETA. Let me show you some pictures that I wanted to show you initially. I'm going to stop sharing just to make sure that I pull up what I want to pull up and show you, because my goal is to kind of highlight some of the things that I was saying about lifestyle and appearance and some of the things that just didn't make sense to me. Okay. Let's see. I'm looking for a particular picture. Where did it go? Of course, you know, it's there when you don't want it. And then, and then it's not there when you do. Why can I not find, well, you know what? Let's pull this up instead. Because instead of going there, let's go somewhere else for a minute. And then, I'm not going to show you guys that picture. I just saw a picture that was so messy, but we're not going to go there, right? Because that's not the purpose of this live. Because boy, that picture was so messy. Oh my goodness. Wow. Get out. This is not even what I expected to find, but I found it. Okay, we'll use this as an example. Here, let me share my screen. Oh my goodness. I literally just Google searched, by the way. So we're just looking at a Google search. So the jewelry noted in this picture here, again, I am not a rapper, thug, nor hood. I'm not, never have been, and wasn't in a past life. So I can't tell you what this cost, but I can assure you, looks pretty expensive. Okay. Here's another example of jewelry. Okay. Here's another example. Here's another example. Okay. And I can tell you, just as a person, as a lady, right? Even if you're talking about something like a beautiful, simple diamond ring, right? You're talking about at least $7,000 to $10,000. So if that is $7,000 to $10,000, if you're talking about something as simple as a tennis bracelet, right? Simple tennis bracelet, you're talking about at least $15,000 to $20,000. So, and we're talking about, again, elegant jewelry, classy jewelry. We're not talking about this gaudy stuff. So imagine how much this must cost. Okay. Gaudy. That's the word we're looking for. Here's another example. Jewelry. Oh, wow. Look at this here. Look at this here. Can we get a bigger, can we zoom in on this? This is, look at this. Is it going to let us zoom in? Let's see. I thought it would, but it looks like it didn't. It did. Can you guys see that? No, you guys aren't seeing the screen that I'm seeing. Okay. I mean, look at this jewelry. That appears to be all diamonds. And then, wow. Okay. So anyway, you catch my drift. You get my point, right? The government is not referring to DJ Envy as a victim. Okay. The person that is alleged to be DJ Envy in the indictment is referred to as a partner, not a victim. And from what we see of the way that DJ Envy lived his life, mind you, I pulled up jewelry. You guys, I didn't pull up cars. He was constantly flexing cars. And we know those cars are at least $100,000 each. I did not pull up his wife because, as I said, she's a head to toe monogram kind of girl. So we're talking about $20,000 worth of clothing in one outfit. Now, you know what? I should, because the clothing is something I know a little bit more about, right? I tend to err on the elegant side of jewelry, so I can't tell you how much ridiculousness cost. But the clothing, mind you, I don't wear ridiculousness in clothing either, but I do know, the cost of luxury clothing, right? So, and speaking of luxury clothing, in the news clip we saw at the beginning of the commentary, we saw, Pineapple's wife wearing a Chanel sweater. Now, that particular sweater, I'm not sure, right? I know that sweaters in past seasons were $2,000, but let me see if I could find that particular sweater, because I'm curious to know how much that, because in past seasons, they were $2,000, honey. In past seasons. Oh, here we go. Here, I'll show you this one as an example. Here, let's copy and paste this, because I want you to get a feel for the lifestyle that everyone involved is living. And then I want you to tell me if it does not insult your intelligence to believe that this was garnered legitimately. Let's see. Share screen. Here we go. This is pre-owned, okay? All right. So here we are on Farfetch. This is a Chanel pre-owned sweatshirt. It is, y'all, I have to giggle because I quoted you guys 2,000. I quoted you about 2,000, right, on a past season Chanel sweater. This is over 5,000. Over $5,000. Okay, so I underquoted. I, by the way, have never purchased a Chanel sweater. I know what they typically cost in the market, but Chanel isn't really my vibe because I find Chanel. So I kind of believe we're having a kind of non-related combo, but still related. Although I like luxury items, I believe in luxury with some level of consciousness, if you will. And so I don't buy things that I believe are exorbitantly priced for no reason. Now, I will buy something that is priced expensively, but it's quality. But I find that Chanel, in my opinion, will make things that are not quality, and they will charge just because they are Chanel. So I would lean more towards Louis Vuitton. Who else do I really love? Alea, Cult Gaia. Oh my goodness, it just escaped me. It just escaped me. Shoot. Oh, right on the tip of my tongue. Oh my goodness. When I remember the other brand, I will tell you. Shoot, they were right at the tip of my tongue. Man. But anyway, so I don't lean towards Chanel because I find that Chanel they do not make great quality. They just charge you because they are Chanel. For example, Chanel bags are not good quality, especially the lambskin bags. They scratch in a minute. They fall apart in a minute. Valentino is guilty of that as well, you guys. Don't buy Valentino. But Louis Vuitton is solid. Salad? It's my bedtime, y'all. But Louis Vuitton is usually solid. So I would actually recommend Louis. And I don't know why my mind is not thinking of the other brand. They're right there in my mind and it's not coming through. What is the brand that I'm thinking of? Shoot. I don't know. But anywho, here you go. Chanel, pre-owned, over $5,000. So I want you to think of a real estate investor, not a developer, a real estate investor whose wife casually runs around town in a $5,000 sweater. Not a developer, a real estate investor. Okay, so again, I'm sure these are the things that the government looked at and considered during their investigation, and the government 100,000 times likely has already subpoenaed and seen all of the financial transactions. Okay, so I am back to my screen. Oh, High Priestess Coach. Coach is good quality, you guys. So there's a lot of debate about whether or not Coach is luxury. I have Coach. I wear Coach. I like it. And actually, yeah, I would say I borderline love it. I like/love Coach. And Coach is actually very good quality. Very good leather, very good quality. I still can't think of the designer I wanted to mention. Darn. Man, it'll come to me eventually, but Louis is always solid. Always solid. All right, let's see. Comments here. Mistress Monica says, I would never pay mortgage money on clothes. To me, it's not the smartest thing. A handbag is one thing because handbags have longevity. They last for years on years on years on years on years, right? But a sweater, a shirt, pants, I don't really lean too much into this spending $5,000 on a sweater situation. It's a sweater. You will wash it. It will, gather damage. It will degrade over time. It's not really the smartest decision, in my opinion. All right. The paperwork only names some of the victims, PETA, not all. Michael Kors is good too. Michael Kors. Yes. Thank you, Terry. I was like, what is the brand? Gucci. Gucci is the other brand that makes very high quality leather products. And again, their prices are not, Chanel prices are ridiculous. And again, not the best quality. So yeah, it was Gucci. Thank you. I was like, what brand? Gucci. However, I do have to add, my conscience compels me to add this. Conscience. You guys know it's my bedtime. If you already own these luxury items, cool. But if you don't already own them, you should give it some thought before you purchase them, right? Be smart with your money. Don't purchase luxury items here's my recommendation. If the luxury item costs more than you could afford to, this is kind of similar to investing. If the luxury item costs more than you could afford to just kind of away, then don't buy it, right? If you are feeling like, oh my gosh, as you're buying it, you're feeling that feeling like you're about to barf, that means you can't afford it, right? You shouldn't get it. And also, Gucci has a very not so great history with some alleged SAing of children in the Gucci family. I don't know. It's a bunch of stuff. So if you haven't purchased this stuff yet, just do your research, give it some thought. Okay. But if you already have it, you have it. It is what it is. Okay. I'm one of those people that I already have it and don't burn things you already spent money on. And also some of my items were gifts, which, have sentimental value. But if you don't already have it, give it a lot of thought before you spend money on something like that. Okay. All right. So we are here technically towards the end of the stream. Now, I can allow people to call in. So let me ask everyone in the chat. Give me some ones in the chat if you actually want to be able to call in, because then I will put the link in the chat and open it up for people to call in. But if you don't want to call in, I will go ahead and end the live now and have some tea and a bath and round up my night with finishing my novel and some sleep. So you let me know. Let's see. Mixture says you can invest $5,000 in something that will grow in value. That is so true. That is absolutely true, which is why I said money on a handbag or clothing item should be something that is nothing to you. It should not be something that you are thinking, oh my gosh, I'm spending this. That in itself tells you that it's not in the realm of what you should be doing at this time. Terry said, I'm very welcome. Oh, also, by the way, if you have questions, you can put them in the chat as well. So you can put your questions in the chat. You can also drop a 1 in the chat if you'd like me to share the link. Hello to Naps. I can't believe I forgot to shout you out before. I must have been lost in the indictment at that time. Did I forget? I think so. Hello to Naps. So Naps says one of the new reports mistakenly labeled Envy as a rapper. Oh, no. Envy's not a rapper, which again, the money doesn't make any sense. He's not. He's just a radio personality. He makes apparently a whole lot of coin for a radio personality. It's interesting. Let's see. Hi, Priestess, and I'm about to go Google. Listen, I just Googled jewelry just to show you jewelry. And as I said, I've never been a rapper, so I couldn't tell you what that cost. I can only tell you what elegant jewelry cost. Okay, honey? And even the elegant jewelry, there are some very elegant Tiffany gold necklace pieces that are 17 to 20,000. And that is just gold, elegant, mwah, beautiful, right? So this gaudy stuff here, I guarantee you costs at least 70 to 100 per piece that you saw on his neck. So yeah, that's a lot of money. Again, from where? We don't know. I encourage you to go check out What Happened to Common Sense's video. He does dive a lot into lifestyle, money, things like that, things outside of the four corners of the legal doc. But we don't stray too far from the four corners of the legal document because we like to keep it cute, Okay, you all. So I don't see anyone saying that they would like the ability to call in, which means that I am going to go ahead and end the live now. You guys probably heard me getting a text. Sorry about that. Love you. What did I say, you guys again? Darn it. Sorry about that. Love you all. Okay, so listen. Have a wonderful evening. I may or may not delete this live, and that is because I honestly was not too much of a fan of the way this went with my tech issues. So we'll see what I end up deciding. Okay, but otherwise, know that I love you. Know that you are amazing and that your presence here means something. All right. If you feel so inclined to, go ahead and share this video, but definitely hit the like button and subscribe. Right. And look out, because I think I've been saying this for a while, y'all. So I don't know. Maybe I should stop saying it, but I think we're going to explore some other avenues on this channel as well. We're going to see, well, shoot, how can I when I don't have time? I don't know. Maybe we can find something that we can do that takes less time. I don't know. You guys hit me up. Let me know. You guys are typically great at giving me ideas. So let me know. Oh, I see some questions. Okay. I hope your name is Kevin. I hope I'm saying it right. Kevin Williams says, why didn't investors require or demand escrow? Okay. So again, I'm not JT and I'm not What Happened to Common Sense, but I will say this. Typically, notice I'm saying typically, investments are not supposed to go into the manager's personal account. Now, it sounds like what's being accused is that Pineapple commingled funds and had funds in his personal account that should not have been there. So here's the thing, Kevin Williams. We don't know what is stated in these contracts exactly. It is totally possible that these contracts do dictate how to manage or where to place the funding. Maybe they do, right? But let's say they don't. Even if they don't, it is not legal for a manager of investments, of funding, to take that funding and put it into their personal account. That's not supposed to happen anyway. That money should always be in a separate account. Always. Thank you, High Priestess. Yes, I'm going to enjoy my cup of tea. Hello, Doug, the most requested moderator. Oh my goodness. While at Hampton. He was at the Hamptons or Hampton? Hi, Queen Brielle. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Love y'all. That just warms my heart to hear y'all say love you too. Oh, y'all are so awesome. Stealing from Costco. Wait a minute. Who was stealing from Costco? You guys got to fill me in. I'm not getting off yet now. I got to know who was stealing from Costco. Oh, okay. So before we get to that, Kevin said something interesting. So this is something I did think of, and I wondered, So I do think it's interesting that it doesn't sound as if any of these investors really checked the property owners or the property ownership record of these properties. And I say that because I imagine that if they did, well, here's technically what would have happened. Let's be real. Let's say 1 second, you guys. You know, Mac and y'all gonna hear me getting up off the couch and all of you guys are really at home with me now. Hold on 1 second. Okay, y'all, I'm back. Okay. So, right. So that's something I found to be interesting because let's say they did check the record of property ownership for these properties. They would see that the property was then purchased, but allegedly, remember now, even if they did that, supposedly they would see that the property was purchased by this warehouse LLC or this start to flipping LLC. So technically, you could have maybe tried to do your due diligence as a quote unquote victim. And perhaps when you saw the LLC, you left it at that. You know, perhaps you didn't take the extra step of saying, well, who is behind this LLC? So that's a possible explanation. Hey, sis Zakia, it was Sam's Club. Who stole from the Sam's Club? Get the heck out of here. Envy was convicted for stealing at Costco? Ain't no way. You guys, do we have to come back with part 2 where I look up this conviction? Ain't no way. There's an interview with him talking about stealing at Costco? You guys held out on me, man. We could have touched on that in this video. You held out on me. And to think that I thought y'all would keep me current, you know, because I'm only hip and with it. Because of y'all, I don't dibble and dabble in the foolishness. So you guys got to keep me current. How many times have I said you guys? You got to keep me current, man. Okay, so Sister Kia is telling me GJ Envy allegedly had an old case where he was involved with stealing electronics from Costco with the help of some employees. What on earth is what? Okay, so Mixtress Monica here. Mixtress Monica, Doug, Sis Zakia, somebody in the fam, can you email me that video? And maybe we'll come back and talk about that because that actually sounds kind of interesting. That sounds like, and quite frankly, if he was allegedly working with employees to steal electronics, that sounds, follow me here, like a coordinated scam. And the allegation in this indictment is what? A coordinated scam. I tell you, this just gets curiouser and curiouser. Part 2. Yeah, we're going to get to it. All I need is one of you to email me that information, and then we will head on out with that. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and go, you guys. It's way past my bedtime. As I said, we're going to see if I decide to leave this up or not. You know, really, this is more so for us to hang out. We'll see how I end up feeling about it in a day or so. But I hope you were edified by the legal information that we shared today. The point of today's show was to take a look at the indictment. Oh, that's what I have. Y'all, I almost forgot. Man, I almost forgot. You guys, I'm telling you, when the bedtime is close. So you guys know that DJ Envy sued Tony the Closer, right? We got to come back, y'all. We're going to do part 2. I have the lawsuit where DJ Envy sued Tony the Closer. And then I want to watch the video where DJ Envy allegedly stole electronics from Costco. Because do we see a modus operandi here? Allegedly. Do we see a pattern of being involved in scams that involve defrauding and stealing? It's interesting. So yeah, someone email me that, please. And then I want to come back with Tony the Closer's lawsuit and the DJ Envy stole out the Costco. I'm just trying to picture in my mind, like stealing from Costco. Really? Anywho, I'm really going to go now, y'all. Go now, y'all. My goodness. By the way, you guys, I said you guys again. I'm trying to use non-gendered language and I'm failing miserably. I'm off coffee. I'm off caffeine. I no longer have caffeine at all. And oh, the struggle. Anywho, I hope you've been edified by the information that has been shared today. The point of today's live was really for us to go through the indictment, which it wasn't long. And I'm going to be real with you all. That's not a good sign. Okay. A 6-page indictment doesn't, I don't know. But to go through the indictment, to discuss the charges therein and the allegations therein, and discuss DJ Envy's alleged involvement, right? And it appears that the government is alleging that he was involved, not that he was a victim. Anywho, I am out of here. I'll see you for part 2 because, yeah, we got to do the lawsuit and the Costco stuff. All right. Anywho, see you around. Bye-bye.